This is Lacey Everett here with Minds in Motion. In order to help others, subscribe, which is free, so we can continue building our positive mental health community. Share it with friends and family so they can reap of the benefits as well. I truly care about your success, so I would love to see your comments and thoughts. Today's sports psychology guest is Brandon Dixon, who was a third-round draft pick by the LA Dodgers and endorsed other Major League Baseball seasons with the Cincinnati Reds and the Detroit Tigers. His college years consisted of college national champion in 2012 and college All-American in 2013. I am thrilled for everyone to hear what Brandon has to say. Hi, Brandon. It's nice to see you.
Hi, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I just wanted to dive right in and start talking about superstitions, because baseball players are known to have superstitions. And so I'm curious if you have any and how that relates to your mindset.
I don't really have any superstitions. Definitely like coming up in the minor leagues and stuff like that, I did. Like you have a few different pairs of cleats, and like if the pair of cleats I'd been wearing I hadn't gotten any hits with them, I would change them up to the next pair, things like that. And then if I got a hit, I'd continue with them. But I don't know, it kind of gets exhausting because you can keep going down all these rabbit holes. So I definitely have kind of gotten away from those.
I can understand that too, because I could picture myself there just thinking, oh, well, this did this, and this did this, and this did this. And you could just keep going down that downward spiral. So that makes sense. But the cleat story, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So Brandon, what does your mental preparation look like before a game? Because I know that's important to you.
Yeah. It kind of depends. For the most part, it's just kind of like preparing myself. So, whether it's a day that I'm working out or whatever, kind of going through that routine. But it's more of like kind of mentally slowing myself down and taking a look at who I'm facing that night and just like more so preparing. And then once it comes to the game, it's more of, you've done your homework, you've done all the work before, and it starts to become more of, make sure your body's in the right state and focus on the right things rather than kind of carrying the day or two before. So kind of flushing what's happened and just kind of staying in that present moment.
Nice. So it sounds like you prepare a lot before, so then when the time comes for a game, you feel comfortable.
Yeah, definitely just putting yourself in that right position.
Nice. What helps you? You mentioned present moment. What helps you stay in that?
I think just understanding when you're getting pulled out of it. I don't necessarily like attempt to get into that present moment, because I think that's just another form of like falling out of it and trying. But for me, it's more of just kind of understanding, if thoughts come up about, say, I strike out or something like that, and you carry that into the field and, you're thinking about it. I think for me, it's just kind of understanding that it's pulling me along and it's not going to be useful for the future, and just kind of letting it go at that point.
Nice. So you kind of just notice it, and through noticing it, the feelings subside, it seems like.
Yeah, just kind of being aware.
Yeah, being aware. That's a great tactic. Okay, so Brandon, has your mind ever played a negative trick on you? And if so, how did you overcome that? Because I know that's really common with sports.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel like your mind, especially in baseball, can like constantly be doing that. But like a moment that like I remember was kind of after being drafted to play. I was with the Dodgers in low A, I think. And I just, the jump from college to pro ball was really difficult for me. I was struggling. I wasn't hitting well. And I was about a month in, and I was like at the point where I was convinced these guys were way better than me and all this stuff, and a lot of doubt. And it was just like a summer of struggle that like kind of encouraged me the next off season to really work hard and like understand where that was coming from, and kind of start to work on my mindset and start to work on things that led me to kind of having success in professional baseball, and understanding like it's not going to happen right away, and it's going to take some work and stuff like that.
That sounds fantastic that you were able to have so many doubts and then overcome it by working on your mindset. And because it plays tricks on us, and it makes us feel uncomfortable. It's distracting. It's like, go away. But that's nice that you can use things like staying in the present moment and noticing when you're not in the present moment and such, to really get a handle on that. And for a second here, I just want to applaud you. I would say this on or off camera, Brandon. It is phenomenal that you went from college to the Dodgers to professional baseball. Now you're going to Japan, I hear. It's phenomenal. And it is hard. It is so hard to do what you're doing. So it's really nice to hear kind of like the behind the scenes of it all, and your mindset, and how that has really helped you.
Yeah, for sure. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it hasn't always been easy, but it's been worth it.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it doesn't come overnight. Like you kind of it kind of took a while for you to realize that, but it's not going to happen. You're not going to wake up and your hitting's going to be great. It takes time. So that's something that I think would be really important for viewers to remember.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. So lastly, is there a story that you have, any fun stories that dealt with your mindset or overcoming something throughout your life in baseball?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like one like pivotal moment in my career was in 2012. I was a sophomore in college, and it was the first time I was like got a chance to play in college. Freshman year, I didn't really play much. And then sophomore year, I was doing okay, but not great. And I ended up losing my job at first base to another player. And then I was kind of like the fill-in guy when I was the starter. And it hurt, it took a toll on me. And we had a really good team that year. We actually ended up winning the World Series, the College World Series that year. But in the playoffs, I got a chance in the championship game to play. And I had been, hadn't really been playing much. And, but I just, I enjoyed the team, and I continued to work hard, and, realized there was nothing else I could do except do my job. And, I got an opportunity in the ninth inning, and I had the go ahead RBI. So I, in essence, kind of helped win the game for the championship game to win the College World Series. And I think it was a moment that like kind of pushed me into this career, and like kind of gave me the confidence to keep going. But it's also something I look back on and see like, my continual work that I put in, even when I wasn't playing or getting what I wanted. It definitely prepared me for that moment that I didn't really expect was going to come. So yeah, I would say that was one of the biggest, learning moments of my career.
Ooh, that's a story for sure. 'Cause it's kind of like, that saying, you got to start from somewhere, and even though you didn't like where you were, and you weren't picked, I guess you had someone else in your spot, it was frustrating. And through that, it probably motivated you more. Like you kind of mentioned, it sparked your career. And it's interesting how accomplishments can make us more confident. There's like a little switch in our brain that ticks off when we get a home run or accomplish something in our sport, and it makes you more confident. And that confidence is actually shown to be really beneficial because it is a reason for peak performance. I mean, if you have confidence and you're not as good, you might perform better because you're confident, you know? So that's wonderful. What was it like for you to go from college to the pros?
I mean, at that point, I had kind of expected it because I was having a good year, but it was a difficult transition. It was, you know, a dream come true, but very quickly you realize like your dreams aren't necessarily what you dream them to be.
I used to say, before I became a professional dancer, I used to say it was almost more fun to dream about it than actually be in it. So I understand that.
Yeah, definitely. And then you kind of get thrown in the fire, and it's your job. So you have to perform, or else, you know, they'll find someone else who does. And, but yeah, I love it. It's been this going on my 7th or 8th year now. So, it's been great. It's been a good journey.
Wow. You're the baseball guru here. I'm curious how, I think this would be really beneficial for other athletes. How do you get through that when you're in the pros and you made it and you're in it and you have those moments when you're like, oh, I don't want to do this, or, oh, you know, you get too used to it. How do you come out of that and still perform like you did before you were in the pros?
I realize, like, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, it's going to show up when I'm playing against other people who did what they're supposed to. So, I think the humility of baseball and how it humbles players is the thing that kind of continues to drive me.
Nice. So the humility and how it humbles, how would you say it humbles you? What does that look like?
There's phases where you don't get a hit for a week or 2 weeks, and you feel like, you know, the smallest human on planet Earth. Yeah, exactly. So I think just baseball in general has a tendency to do that, especially to people who kind of don't put in the work or the effort.
Yeah, I understand that. And I can see how that would make sense. What does your routine look like with workouts, eating habits to keep yourself in peak performance?
I mean,
Uh-oh, I see a guilty smile.
it would take a while for me to explain it.
Oh, don't
No,
worry. Just like give a few things.
you're good. Yeah. I work out, I lift probably 4 times a week. I hit 4 or 5 times a week. And then I just try and eat healthy. You know, that's kind of the main thing, because it all makes a difference. And, you see guys like Tom Brady who are playing, 43, 44 years old. If you take care of your body, it'll continue to take care of you. So.
Nice. We should write that on a shirt. If you don't take care of your body. Yeah, that's great. Is there anything else that you want to say to the little baseball players out there that are probably following in your footsteps, or fans of you already, if not?
Yeah. I don't know. I would just say continue to have fun. I think, I think that's the biggest part. You know, you don't want to do this if you're not going to enjoy it. And that's, from everyone I've played with, Miguel Cabrera, Joey Votto, all those guys, they're the best in the world, but they're also having a lot of fun doing it. So, I would say that's one of the biggest things.
I couldn't agree more, Brandon, about having fun, because at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. I mean, what's the point of doing it if you're not going to look for the joy in it, and that can go with anything. Thank you so, so much, Brandon. And I wish you the absolute best with your future endeavors. Truly.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, this was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Of course.
This is Lacey Everett here with Minds in Motion. In order to help others, subscribe, which is free, so we can continue building our positive mental health community. Share it with friends and family so they can reap of the benefits as well. I truly care about your success, so I would love to see your comments and thoughts.